All right, today we're going to dive into a platform that's trying to solve one of the biggest, most persistent questions in education. We're talking about AATHAN Academy's EDSTEAM, an ecosystem designed from the ground up to connect what students learn in the classroom directly to their future careers.
I mean, how many times have you sat in a math or science class and just thought to yourself, when am I ever going to use this in real life? It's a question every student asks, right? Well, that's exactly the question the EDUSTEAM platform is built to answer, so you never have to ask it again.
And that question, it gets right to the heart of a huge challenge in education, this big gap between the abstract concepts you'll learn in a textbook and how they're actually applied in the real world. The whole goal here is to shift learning from something you just memorize to something you can actually do.
And this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the traditional way of doing things. Textbook formulas, subjects that never talk to each other, and a whole lot of memorizing. But on the other side, you see the EDUSTEAM approach. It's all about real-world examples and labs where different subjects actually mix together. The focus shifts from just memorizing a formula to really getting the concept behind it.
So how do they do it? Well, it all starts with their first big pillar, which they call subject mastery. And this isn't about cramming for a test. Nope. It's about taking those abstract ideas and making them feel real, making them finally click. They've set up this really cool 4-step learning loop. First, you learn, with notes that actually focus on the core concepts. Then, you practice with multiple choice questions for that specific chapter. And here's where it gets interesting. Step 3 is to connect those ideas in what they call the logic lab. And finally, you apply what you've learned through the industry bridge. So it's this complete circle, right? From theory all the way to seeing how it's used in the real world. Let's talk about that logic lab for a second, because it's pretty unique. This is a space where all those walls between subjects just disappear. You might have a physics problem that you can't solve without a bit of chemistry, or maybe you use math to truly understand a biological process. This is what builds that kind of flexible, real-world thinking you actually need for a career.
And this is that final apply step in action. The industry bridge makes that connection super clear. So, learning about the laws of motion? That's not just for an exam. It's about understanding how a massive crane works, or how safety systems in your car are designed. Studying acids and bases? That directly connects to the pharmaceutical and petrochemical industries. It gives you a rock-solid answer to that "why am I learning this" question.
Okay, so understanding the concepts is great, but let's be real. Staying motivated is a whole other challenge. And that brings us to their second pillar, the engagement engine. The whole point of this is to make learning feel less like a chore and more like, well, like a quest.
And the heart of this engine is something they call Tech Quest. What they've done is they've taken all the things that make video games so addictive, the challenges, the missions, the rewards, and they've baked them right into the learning process. Suddenly, every concept becomes an exciting mission you actually want to complete.
And these aren't just any quests. We're talking hands-on projects in really cool fields like AI, coding, and web design. They use simulations with instant rewards to give it that game-like feel. Plus, they run competitions every couple of months, complete with leaderboards, certificates, and prizes to keep that competitive spirit alive and make learning fun. But the platform doesn't just stop with the core school syllabus. The next pillar is all about giving students that extra edge, preparing them for those big, life-changing competitive exams that really shape their futures. A big part of that is their general knowledge zone. It's got curated content on everything from what's happening in Tamil Nadu to India and the world. It covers history, culture, science, you name it. And to help make it all stick, they deliver it through daily quizzes, monthly challenges, and even visual mind maps. Super smart. And then, going even deeper, there's a whole section dedicated to a very specific high-stakes goal: winning scholarships. They call it the Scholarship Arena, and it's basically designed to be a launch pad for students who are aiming high and want that next level of national recognition. Here you get targeted practice and full-length mock exams for all the big ones: the NTSE, the NMMS, and all the different science, math, and cyber Olympiads. And here's the crucial part. It doesn't just give you a score and send you on your way. You get detailed solutions and even rank predictions to show you exactly where you need to focus your energy. And for those students already thinking ahead to massive entrance exams like IITJEE and NEET, the platform offers these Prime Pulse mini mock exams. And get this, the cost for these foundational practice tests is zero. Yep, completely free to access. So when you step back and look at all these different pieces together, the subject mastery, the fun, game-based learning, and the heavy-duty exam prep, what you really have is a single, integrated, all-in-one ecosystem for learning.
So what's the bottom line? Why does this whole model connect so well with both students and parents? Well, first off, it's 100% aligned with school syllabi, whether that's CBSE, ICSE, or state boards. It has that unique connection to real-life industries. It's got advanced practice for those tough numerical problems. And hey, it uses game-based learning that kids actually enjoy. Plus, you can't beat the fact that those crucial foundation resources are totally free.
And maybe the most important thing is this. The entire platform was built by passionate educators who really get the Indian competitive exam system. They know what it takes to succeed because they've been through it themselves.
When you boil it all down, the entire EduSTEAM platform seems to be asking and answering one huge question. What if learning was actually exciting instead of just exhausting? It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? It's not just about changing how students learn, but changing how they feel about learning itself.